Hello everyone, my name is Joel and welcome to Media Magpie Ka-Pow. It's been a long time since I've made any videos for this channel because I've been very busy with my creative writing and other work. But today I'd like to introduce to you my new book, which has just been published with Amazon, called Shadow Beneath the City, and it's book one of the Secrets of Shadow series, available from Amazon right now. So I'm going to explain a little bit about the book and the characters and the setting and some of the things that are interesting about it, but don't worry, there's no spoilers. I'm not going to tell you any of the very important and exciting things, nor how the story ends up. So don't worry about that. You can still enjoy the books, but hopefully this will whet your appetite and you'll be interested in reading more. So let's get into it. So the Secrets of Shadow series is basically, I'm planning on 3 to 5 books. I originally thought 3, but it seems to be getting a little bit bigger as different things happen. And so the first book is, as I mentioned, Shadow Beneath the City, and that is finished. And the second book is Shadow Before the Dark Night, which is in production. And I hope to get that out before Halloween, if not Halloween, before Christmas this year. And there are ideas, plot plans, and other things in motion to get the other books out, but I'll give you more information about that at another time. So basically, the main character is Amara, who is a half Cambodian resident of a very large city called New Mercia City. She's currently a homeless vampire, and she was 18-year-old when she was turned into a vampire, and that was 3 years ago, so she's 21 years now. But her parents were killed by the vampire Vardaz, so she has a bit of a feud with him. And I wanted to have a look at how she would interact with a pet. I was reading some literature about homeless people having dogs, and that sort of inspired me to think about, okay, well, what about this homeless vampire? And she has a dog, and the dog's name was Shadow, sort of me and my shadow kind of thing. And Shadow is a Siberian husky, loyal companion, and he was a gift from Amara's parents before they were killed. And she's sort of, Shadow's a he. He is the last link between Amara and her humanity, sort of thing. And I think the Shadow is a character in his own right, and he has an interesting character arc, which I won't go into too much, but you should definitely read the book to find more about that. The book itself is set in a very gritty, grungy sort of city, a lot of crime. The economy has collapsed and there's been recessions, maybe a depression. So there's no money, there's corruption, and this is a big city where there's lots of troubles for a young homeless woman and her dog to get into. Plus, it's got this sort of gothic it's not quite. I wanted to go for a city that could be anywhere. It could be America, could be Europe, could be UK, could be Australia or New Zealand. But I wanted to have it I didn't want it to be a particular place, although it's in a sort of parallel world that is similar to ours. So obviously we mentioned Cambodia, other countries are mentioned, other sort of artwork and things like that from this world are mentioned. So it's a parallel world. And one of the big buildings where a lot of action happens is Ascot Manor in the story as well. But like I said, the economy's gone. Nobody's got any money. Governments haven't got any money. People are living day to day. The police force is under resourced. there's a lot of empty buildings, empty businesses, empty warehouses. So things are not going very well. And it's in that environment that Amara finds herself trying to survive by herself as an orphan, as a homeless person, and as a vampire with obviously bloodlust and things like that. So then what happens is these strange kidnappings occur and the population is scared. Organized crime is big. This seems to be a little bit different. The police don't know who's behind it all. They're asking the public for help. They're posted a reward, and there's a lot of pressure from government to get this solved because it doesn't look very good. But unfortunately, the police don't have any leads. Along the way, Amara makes some friends. Her best friend is Lily, probably her only friend except for Shadow. Shadow is more like her family though. Lily is sort of an older sister to Amara though, and she busks in the botanical gardens and she's trying to make some money to repair the fountain in there. That's her mission because the government can't afford, or the local council can't afford to fix it. But she has some secrets as well, and she knows some secret information. There's a bit to this character which I won't give away, but she has some secret information to share, and she has her own secrets as well about herself. So I think she's a very interesting character, and I hope you'll enjoy that relationship between Amara and Lily. The other one is Detective Carlos Ramirez, and I'm just getting these pictures off on the internet. So these aren't necessarily what they would actually look like, but they're just sort of like ideas to give you some sort of idea about it. But anyway, Ramirez is sort of upset because his partner, Detective Sada Singh, that's another detective who works with him as a pair, she was seriously injured and is in hospital as in the line of duty against these organized criminals or gangsters, and so he's very frustrated and upset. There's extra pressure on him from his bosses to get some results with these kidnappings, so he's starting to consider unorthodox methods to try to make a breakthrough, and he meets Amara and Shadow, and they start to work together, at least as much as he can as a police officer. And they are sort of battling this lusus naturae, the sport of nature or the freaks of nature. Sorry if my French pronunciation isn't very good. This isn't a great picture of them, but I just want to they're all the supernatural creatures like elves and goblins, and so there's a big difference between the undead and the supernatural, and the lusus naturae are the supernatural. And they're led by Griselda the Hex Witch, and she's an interesting character who's quite powerful, who's got a plan and is trying to accomplish something which Amara, our protagonist, tries to stop her. There are other sort of antagonists as well. Vadaz, the ancient vampire who killed Amara's parents, has an interesting and complex relationship with Amara because he also made her into a vampire. So in some ways she hates him, in other ways he is her sort of vampire clan leader. So there's an interesting relationship, and that will continue and I think develop further later. And the other one is the werewolf lord, and I won't go too much into this character because it's very important to some of the other characters and their development, but this is definitely a very interesting character that I have enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to developing more werewolf flaw as we progress in this story. Along the way, Amara and Shadow meet a whole range of other supernatural creatures and even some more undead, and they find out more about the world that they live in. Amara has only been a vampire for 3 years, so she didn't know any of this existed. She only just found out about vampires, and now she's dealing with all sorts of things. I haven't just chosen supernatural creatures from the Western world. I've looked at Asian and other cultures. For example, this is a kappa here, which is a kind of turtle-like water creature, and from Japan. And this character, Kenji, is very important to the story. Not a main character, but a very fun one. And there's all sorts of other little creatures in there as well. And with the main enemies being groups of supernatural creatures. And, it's just adds a touch of the fairy tale or the adventure to the story. So, there you go. These books are going to be supernatural thriller action stories. It's young adult fiction. New adults might also appreciate it, and definitely those who are young at heart. So if you like that sort of gothic sort of thriller, it's got horror themes. There's fighting and stuff. They're obviously vampires, so they do drink blood. There's werewolves, so there's some fight scenes. But it's not over the top. It's not heavy. It's age appropriate for young adults, so I think you'll like it. As I mentioned, these books are available at Amazon, and you can see the addresses there for the USA, Australia, UK, and Canada. You can find these books, or you can, if you live in a different area, you can just search the name Shadow Beneath the City. They're available at Amazon everywhere, in paperback and in Kindle, so check them out. I'll put these links in the description below, but like I said, if you search online for these things, you'll be able to find them as well. You should then go to a page like this, and this is the UK, and you can add it to your basket and purchase it through Amazon, and we'll see what we can do about finding other ways of selling this book later. So, there you go. All the links provided will be in the comments below, as well as for my other social media and things that you'd like to get involved in, maybe for more information about this series, as well as the other books that I write. And I'll make more videos about them later as well. So, thanks for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like my books, please write a review on Amazon. That will really help me out. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and sign up for the notification so you know when I release more videos. I will be putting more time into this channel now. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.